That seems like it fits. Maybe this has to go up here.
This makes no sense at all.
Pick it up.
Pick it up. Pick it up. This is the best portrait, period. It's on feet on the wall. So I want to talk a little bit about the project that I've been working on this week, because I collected a bunch of footage of it, but I never actually talked about the stuff that's happening in it. So I'll just show you really quick. For drawing, we had to go to the nature lab and do a lot of skeleton drawings, so that's what this guy is. It's actually the back view of a skeleton there, of a bird that still kind of has some feathers on it, which is like actually sickening, and in the bad way. Like sickening in a gross way. But it kind of gives you some cool textures and stuff. I'll try and hold it back so you can see. But yeah, so the footage of the nature lab that I took was actually over around 5 hours because I was there for so long. I worked on like 3 of those. That's the only one that I kind of like, even though it's hella gross. Also in drawing, we had to draw 5 pages of live animals, like moving, so to capture motion, which at the time was like, it's like super easy, but then you get there and you're like, oh my god. 1, how do you draw motion? And 2, like, how are you supposed to draw something that doesn't stay still? It was quite a struggle. Also took a really long time, but here's kind of a sampling of that. Trying to capture a fish in motion. This guy's face really made me laugh because he looks like he's dying. That's not really negative, you know what I mean, like he looks like he's struggling. Like. So here's a whole bunch of scribbles. Here's some more. That's a fish. This is a jellyfish, but it just kind of looks like a blob, but I guess that's true to life. This is actually the front view of a really skinny angelfish. He literally is like a little sliver, so that's funny. Those are his eyes. This is my favorite one. This is like of a crab. He was kind of moving, so it was sort of cheating because he was moving pretty slow. It was easy to draw. But he just has like so much personality in his little face. Like his eyes are looking in different directions and stuff. It's pretty cute. So that's what I was working on in drawing. There are a couple other skeleton ones like the bird, but they're not even worth showing because I'm still working on them. So, moving on to design. So our design homework was actually kind of complicated, but for the most part it just involved going to different spaces and drawing them and then breaking it up into lines and shapes. So we spent a lot of time doing that too. This is actually the microscope room in the nature lab. I actually went there and I just did both projects because you gotta work smarter, not harder. So I believe in that strongly. So that was like an ink drawing that I did of the microscope room. I don't know. I think my professor's probably gonna say it's too cartoony, but that, and then later in the day we went to one of the local cafes, and that's the view out the window. This is like a church tower. So that's like what's happening there. There you go. And then I started a third one because we need 3, or we need 4. Anyways, so I started this one. It's outside the quad actually. There's a bunch of trees and stuff, but then it started to rain so badly, so I just went back inside. Why won't Mother Nature let me do my homework? I really liked how the talking portion of my last video went, because I think it adds a little bit more substance to the videos that I make, and also, you know, it helps me kind of talk through my own ideas. And this week I wanted to talk about originality. For a lot of reasons, you know, if you're a creator of any kind, if you're an artist, if you're a musician, if you're a writer, originality is really, really important, because why do you make stuff? If it's not going to be original, then there's no point, it seems like. And I'm sure I could be debated on that, but you know it's true. At least for when you make something, you don't want it to look like someone else's, and you want people to look at it and know that it's yours. I'm talking about this specifically because I feel like, specifically with my YouTube channel, there are a lot of other people in my class who also have channels, and that's totally fine because we were all inspired, obviously, by people that came before us. But, you know, every single person has something different to offer, and it's hard sometimes to know what your thing is. I think that just takes time, because when I first started to draw, my style just looked like copied versions of comics that I had read. And it took years, you know, for the style to finally be my own. So I think, especially if you're struggling with how to feel like an individual, not even in art, maybe just in life, you know, because a high school environment, and usually an environment where everyone's young and confused and like wanting to be someone, it can be very hard to feel like you stand out or that like anything that you make or say is important. And I think it's important to remember that you can be original. I know that people say that like original ideas are dead and like there'll never be another original idea, or there'll never be a new song, or there'll never be a new book that doesn't just retell stories of other people. I think that's a really negative outlook on life. I mean, whether or not that's statistically true is like debatable, but all I know is that it takes time to figure out who you are and what you need to say. And if you don't put that time in, then you can't be original. And I just want to say that I'm hoping I'll be able to put in the time.
Is that my Sharpie? Julia?
Say hi. Hello.